Which action camera is the best for your money? Is it the brand new DJI Action 5 Pro, or is it the classic GoPro Hero 13? Well, most people are going to use these things on vacation, scuba diving, snorkeling, so I thought what better place than Maui to go ahead and compare these two cameras. So let's begin. Now, just a quick disclaimer, DJI actually sent out both of these cameras for me to compare, so they are sponsoring this video. I know that can get a little bit shady, so I'm going to keep my opinions until later on in the video. So without any further ado, I thought we should kick this video off in how I feel like most people are going to use these two cameras, and that's in full auto mode. That means the camera is making all of the changes that it feels are necessary, from white balance, shutter speed, ISO, the list goes on. So what you're seeing right now are two 4K 10-bit clips with both the GoPro Hero 13 and the DJI Action 5, and you're going to be able to see how the camera decides to make those exposure changes and those white balance changes as I enter different lighting scenarios. And again, this is how a lot of people, including myself honestly, when it comes to action cameras, are going to use these things. They're not going to throw these things into full manual and shoot log footage. So I'm really curious to hear which one did you think performs better in full auto. So now let's go ahead and switch both of these action cameras into their highest quality settings each one is capable of. In the case of the GoPro Hero 13, that's going to be 5.3K 10-bit up to 30 frames per second. On the Action 5, it's going to be 4K 60 frames per second, 10-bit as well. So with the GoPro Hero 13, you are getting a little bit of a resolution advantage with that 5.3K. That being said, here they are side by side, so you guys can determine whether or not that really makes a difference. Now, another thing we should do is go ahead and compare the log footage between these two action cameras. Now you're looking at a clip in log, and then I'm going to apply just a basic color grade to both cameras so that you guys can see how they color correct. And honestly, from what I can see, the GoPro log does seem to be a bit flatter than the DJI Action 5 Pro. Typically, a flatter log is more desirable because it gives you more flexibility in post-production. So when it comes to the logs between both these cameras, the GoPro does have a slight advantage. That being said, they both color grade quite nicely. Currently, the DJI Action 5 records in D-Log M, which personally has never been my favorite log footage to work with, although if you do apply a grade to it, it does look plenty fine. Now, one of the most impressive things when it comes to action cameras these days is its stabilization capabilities. Really, when I stacked these two up against each other in their stabilization modes, it was pretty hard for me to determine a difference. I did some tests where I was walking, and then I did other tests where I was running, and then one more test where I just moved the camera pretty quickly. It's just impressive all the way around that these are able to produce such stable footage, and I'll really leave it up to you guys to determine which one looked better in terms of stabilization. Was it the Action 5 or the GoPro Hero 13? When it comes to slow motion between these two cameras, both are pretty similar in a lot of ways, but they can also be quite different once you start getting into the higher frames per second. So both of these in 4K max out at 120 frames per second, and it looks plenty fine. However, the GoPro, if you put it into 720p, can record up to 400 frames per second, which is pretty cool that it's able to do that. The Action 5 tops out at 240 frames at 1080p. Those are the setting options that it gives you. However, this is where the DJI kind of stands out just a little bit. So when you record a clip at 1080p at 240 frames per second, you have the option to interpolate the footage, and that gives you up to 900 frames per second. They're not real frames. So what it does is for every real frame that the Action 5 gives you, it gives you 4 interpolated frames. So it's just using its best guess to make the footage up to 900 frames per second. And from what I see, it does work pretty well. I wouldn't do this for a lot of things, but if there's something you're filming and you want it to be in this super slow motion mode, it's pretty neat that it has it. However, when it comes to just raw frames per second, I do think that the GoPro has better options. So one thing about the slow motion mode or the super slow motion mode on the Action 5 is that it is a bit confusing. So in my head, I figured you would go into the slow motion mode and you would record a clip like this and then you could interpolate your footage. That didn't work. So I have footage in Hawaii and I actually can't interpolate it in the current firmware that we're rocking with. So actually what you need to do is go into the standard video mode and then select 1080p, and then the highest frame rate in this case is 240 frames per second. And then once you have those things selected, you'll get super awesome slow-mo clips like this. Whee! And now, if I go into playback mode, click on the little snail, and now it's actually interpolating the footage to make it that 900 plus frames per second clip. It's definitely a cool feature to have. It's just a little bit quirkier than I would have liked. So as a certified scuba diver, one of the most important specs for me when it comes to action cameras is going to be its underwater features. For the GoPro Hero 13, it is good up to 10 meters underwater without a protective housing, whereas the Action 5 is actually good up to 20 meters underwater without a housing. And then once you add a protective housing, both of them are good up to 60 meters. Also, and this is probably one of my favorite features with the DJI Action 5, is that it has a tiny little color sensor in the middle of the O of their logo. And what this is going to do is calibrate the camera sensor for the weird color that you get when you're filming underwater. So for those of you who don't know, you get some pretty wild color shift as you go deeper and deeper underwater. So with its built-in depth sensor and its color sensor, it's actually going to calibrate itself to give you more pleasing colors underwater. And on my dive, I can honestly say that I think that the colors that the Action 5 produced are very, very good. There's this clip of me following along with one of the other divers, and you can actually see some of the reds and yellows on their scuba uniform that normally would be kind of this murky blue color. Now, I didn't get to take the GoPro scuba diving with me. I could only pick one camera, so I did choose the Action 5 because of that color sensor. However, I did take the GoPro Hero 13 on a scuba diving trip in Florida, and that's some of the footage that you're seeing right here. Now, to be completely transparent, Florida is not Maui, so the distance that you could see underwater is definitely a lot less than that crystal clear Maui water. However, you're still able to hopefully see the difference in image quality between these two cameras and make a decision for yourself which one looks better. One thing I wanted to test out was how the audio sounds when you aren't recording with a mic. So these are just the built-in microphones on the Action 5. So the Action 5 is what you're listening to right now. It is a little bit windy up here, just for context. And now you're listening on the GoPro Hero 13. So this is just to test and see how does the internal mic sound if you weren't using a mic, which is honestly how most people are probably going to use these things. So this is a audio test now. Without wind. There's a road next to me, but now there's no wind, or at least very little wind. So you're listening to the DJI right now. This is how it's going to be sounding. And then if we switch over to the GoPro, I almost forgot what it's called. If we switch over to the GoPro, this is what the audio sounds on the GoPro. So yeah, Action 5 versus the GoPro Hero 13. Which one sounds better? Now, personally, I didn't do any direct battery life tests between these two cameras. However, as I was using them throughout the day, comparing them in different situations, I did notice that the DJI did just seem to be lasting a bit longer, even though they have a very similar sized battery. I did some research online, and from what I can tell from other people who have done battery tests, the DJI does in fact live longer. I think that basically what we're seeing is the DJI drone tech being trickled into their Action 5 camera, because my gosh, do those drone batteries last quite a long time these days. And I think the GoPro, maybe it seems to be just a little bit less efficient. That being said, they both last a plenty fair amount of time, so not really sure that it's the biggest deal, but I did notice that the Action 5 does seem to have more efficient battery usage. So there are a few key differences between these cameras that I should mention. The first one being that the Action 5 Pro actually has a slightly larger sensor than the GoPro Hero 13. This has a 1 1/3 inch sensor compared to the GoPro's 1 1/9 inch sensor. This is going to mean that the Action 5 can capture just a bit more light, making it a bit more desirable for lower light situations and potentially captures higher quality quality details. Okay, so I have both of the Action cameras here, and I know this is kind of a small thing, but for me, this is a big deal. So this is one of the most annoying things about the GoPro, so I'm just gonna demo it for you guys. It's the damn sound it makes. Like, listen to this when it turns off. It's such an ugly sound, and if you compare that to the DJI, that's just way more pleasant. Also, the Action 5 has two OLED touch displays. So they have the one on the back, and then they actually have one here on the front. And this is actually really good in case you want to just make some quick changes to the settings while you're vlogging. The GoPro also has two displays, but only the back display is a touch display. This one has no functionality at all, although it is nice to be able to preview yourself while you're vlogging, but you can't actually make any setting changes. I do find that while this touchscreen is fine and it's plenty responsive, it is quite a bit smaller than the DJI screen, so definitely something to consider. Another amazing difference is that the DJI Action 5 Pro actually has internal storage. You get about 50-ish gigs of internal storage. And to be honest, the amount of times that I've accidentally forgotten a micro SD card for cameras like this or a drone is a bit ridiculous. And I think internal storage should just become standard in all cameras. So real quick, I thought I would just do a close focus test just to see if these two cameras are much different in terms of how close they can get to something while it remains in focus. So they're both in their ultra wide or super viewed mode. And we're just gonna push up on this tree here just to see if there's really any difference between the two. And to be honest, they appear pretty much the same. So if you're doing something like, let's say you're doing motorcycle vlogs and you might have it mounted on the front of your motorcycle, you want to make sure your helmet's in focus, I think both of these are going to perform about the same. Now, one quick difference is how the cameras mount to things. So with the Action 5, you have a mounting point here at the bottom, and it's actually this magnetic system. So it just clicks into things pretty damn easily, and then you can just pull it off by pinching in on these two little levers. It actually holds in real strong, so you're not gonna accidentally lose your camera, which is one thing that I was afraid of when I heard about this mounting system. The GoPro, on the other hand, has these little flaps that pull down, and you're able to use them. Hold on. This is like one of those infomercials where you struggle with the product. Hold on, there we go. So you just put it into any sort of thing that has the screw mount, screw it in, flick off the mosquito, and now you're ready to rock. The good thing about this system is that it's not gonna come off. This is a screw. If it gets hit by a hammer, it's not going to come off. The problem with this is, obviously, if you want to change it, now you're good to go. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is that the GoPro actually does have a magnetic mount as well. So that is actually a really nice feature with the GoPro. However, you do have to purchase that separately, whereas on the Action 5, that's just included with it. However, the thing that the GoPro has that the Action 5 doesn't is that you do get a 1/4-20 screw mount on the bottom of the GoPro. But I could see many situations where I just want to mount the GoPro to something very quickly, and I have 1/4-20 screws and I don't have whatever mounts that I typically need, and this is going to be a lifesaver. So I do wish that the Action 5 had a 1/4-20 mount in the bottom, just like the GoPro. Now, one thing I actually forgot to mention when it comes to mounting options for the Action 5 is that you do get this little tiny sleek cage that you can put on the Action 5. It works really well. You can still mount to the bottom, but it actually gives you two more mounting pins so that if you want to do any vertical style content, this just makes it a lot easier. So for quickness and ease of use, I really like this system. So the GoPro Hero 13 is going to come in a bit more expensive than the Action 5 at $399 compared to $349. So if your main concern is just pure affordability, then the Action 5 Pro potentially is your best option. Now in this video, we're not really comparing the combos that you can buy with both of these Action cameras. However, I did get the creative combo for the Action 5. I do want to show you guys this one little thing. This little charging case that comes with the Action cameras. It just started raining. I don't know how waterproof my camera is, so this is exciting. But yeah, you can actually store little SD cards up here in the top, and then you get different batteries. The case itself weirdly doesn't charge the batteries like this. I don't know why. That should be a feature. DJI, what are we doing? This should be charging my batteries. That being said, when you plug it in over USB-C, it charges all three at the same time. It's a nice touch, but it could have been better. So which one of these Action cameras is better? Well, if we're looking at the log footage, I think that the GoPro Hero 13 is just a little bit better than the Action 5 Pro. Also, having this 1/4-20 screw mount in the bottom is a really nice touch, and I feel like that should become standard in all action cameras moving forward. But in all other aspects, I find that the Action 5 Pro is just a bit more favorable in my opinion. Having the larger sensor, the different quick mounts on it, that water temperature sensor, slow motion frame rate options, the list goes on and on. The GoPro Hero 13 is a solid choice for sure, but personally, I think I would pick the more innovative DJI Action 5 Pro. Now, if you want to see me compare the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 to an iPhone 16 Pro, click that video right here. I think the results might surprise you. I hope that you all found this video useful. If you did, definitely hit the subscribe button for more camera content, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys.